Alright guys, so some totally game-changing iPhone 12 leaks were revealed overnight from the absolute most reliable Apple leaker out there, which is Kang, with a 97.8 accuracy rating according to appletrack.org. And on top of that, Jon Prosser gave us some very disappointing updates on the AirTags and the AirPods Studio. And we also have some new information that confirms my thoughts on when we should be seeing the first Apple Silicon Macs get revealed, so I'll get into that after the iPhone 12 leaks. So what I'm gonna do in this video is not just list off all of the leaks, but I'm gonna try to explain the context so you're not misinformed, and I'm gonna try to explain how certain features are gonna work and how it's ultimately gonna affect you on the day-to-day, so let's get right into it. Kang is a Chinese leaker who uses Weibo, and apparently he somehow gained access to Apple's pre-recorded video for their October event, so let's get started with the HomePod Mini. Kang says it's getting announced next week, and it's basically gonna be 3.3 inches tall, over 2 times shorter than the regular HomePod, which is 7 inches tall. It's gonna come with the same chip as the Apple Watch SE, and orders are gonna begin on November 6th. As far as the iPhone 12, there's gonna be 4 models, the same ones you've already heard about, but the price of the Mini will be $699, which is actually quite pricey. And what's interesting is that the iPhone 12 Pro is only $200 more expensive than the regular 6.1-inch 12. And it's supposed to come with double the storage, so it's actually not that bad of a deal in comparison. As far as the colors, the low-end models are getting new blue and green finishes, and the Pro models are getting graphite, which seems to be just a darker space gray, and they're getting a new midnight blue color. Now what's totally shocking is that in the United States, all 4 models are getting millimeter wave 5G, not just the Pro models. And as expected, no earphones or chargers in the box. Apple is also coming out with a new smart data mode feature, which basically switches between using 4G and 5G on the fly. So it saves battery life by using 4G or sub-6 5G, which is basically just glorified 4G. And then if your city supports it, it then switches to 5G if you actually need it. Even more shocking is that each model is supposedly getting the same Super Retina XDR display. That means the same crazy good OLED displays capable of viewing HDR content are going into the lower end iPhones. On top of that, each model is getting a new ceramic substrate glass screen, which is actually quite exciting because if you know anything about the Apple Watch, the ceramic models are incredibly scratch resistant, so I guess we're gonna have to see how good it is. Apple is now rebranding their wireless charging to Magsafe, which is what they used to call their Mac chargers, which attached magnetically, keeping it safe for kids who would otherwise trip over a charging cable. It's gonna have up to 15 watts of charging power, and instead of reviving AirPower, Apple is coming out with 2 MagSafe charging pads, the single and the duo, which also support various AirPods as well. On top of that, they're coming out with brand new iPhone cases with built-in MagSafe magnets, so your iPhone will quickly snap into place right onto your charging pad. And I'm sure they're gonna release versions of this new case for older iPhone models as well to make more sales. Now the most interesting part about all of this is the cameras on the new iPhone 12 models. Both of the less expensive iPhone 12s are getting dual cameras just like they did last year, but the wide camera is getting an upgraded sensor and a new lens with a faster f1.6 aperture and a new 7-layer lens design. Kang also mentioned that everything from Deep Fusion, Night Mode, and Smart HDR is getting upgraded. This means that the new wide camera sensor is going to be faster at reading out, and combined with the new A14 chip, it's going to be able to take, combine, and process photos much faster than the iPhone 11 lineup, thus improving all of those features. Now let's move on to the Pro models, which is where the most misinformation is happening right now. Kang said that the iPhone 12 Pro can provide up to 4 times optical zoom, and the Pro Max can provide up to 5 times optical zoom. This doesn't actually mean that the telephoto lens is going to become telescopic, just like on the Samsung flagships. he actually means the total difference in optical zoom. So on the Pro, if the ultra-wide lens uses a 13mm focus length and the telephoto lens uses a 52mm focus length, that's actually a 4 times difference, hence the 4x optical zoom. And according to Kang, the Pro Max is getting a 65mm focus length on the telephoto lens. So going from 13mm to 65mm is actually a 5 times difference. So that's what he means by the whole system providing 5x optical zoom. Now what's really weird is that Kang said that the Pro Max is getting an expansive ultra-wide lens, which to me, that basically means it's gonna be wider than 13mm. So in my personal opinion, what if Kang is actually wrong? Because he did say he had trouble translating it. What if the Pro Max doesn't actually get a telephoto lens with a 65mm focal length? What if the ultra-wide lens is getting wider with a 10mm lens and the telephoto stays at 52mm? That basically provides a range of 5x optical zoom. That actually makes a whole lot more sense to me, because if the ultra-wide is getting wider and the telephoto is getting longer, that's actually more than 5x. So it's much more likely that the ultra-wide is getting you to the 5x. Another benefit that we already knew is that both of the Pro models are getting the new LiDAR scanner, which Apple is probably going to be talking a lot about at this event. Now, by far, the most odd thing that Kang said was that the Pro Max model is getting a 47% larger sensor than the 6.1-inch Pro model, with the pixel size going up to 1.7 micrometers. Now, he didn't specify if all 3 of the camera sensors are getting larger or if it's just one of them, but to me, it seems pretty weird for the main wide lens to be better than on all the other phones exclusively for the Pro Max. But one thing to know is that Kang mentioned this difference on the same line that he mentioned the Pro Max getting an expansive ultra-wide lens. So if you think about it, if the lens is getting wider with a 10mm lens, it would make sense to add a larger sensor with larger pixels for better ultra-wide quality. So what if it's actually the ultra-wide camera sensor that's getting larger? That would actually make more sense compared to having the Pro Max getting a longer 65mm telephoto lens. So I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see until next week to find out. Now, a major benefit for all of the models is that they're gonna be able to record Dolby Vision video, which is basically the highest standard of HDR video, which further proves that even the iPhone 12 mini is getting the same great OLED XDR display, which can actually display that Dolby Vision footage. And this last bit is perhaps the most disappointing. He says that we'll only be able to order the iPhone 12 mini and the iPhone 12 Pro Max in November, with release dates as far away as November 20th for the Pro Max. Now let's finally finish off with some more bad news. John Prosser says that Apple's AirTags have been delayed until next year. And on top of that, the AirPods Studio headphones aren't being revealed at next week's event, and they might even be priced at a massive $599. Now the weird thing is that Apple set the time slot for this event to 2 full hours. So if they're not going to show off both of those products, what else are they going to show off? Well, don't get your hopes up, because more and more leaks and rumors are pointing to Apple waiting until November to reveal the Apple Silicon Max. So Apple's probably going to spend a lot of time sweet talking all of their investors, telling them how they're saving the world and how everybody is using iOS 14 already, and then they're probably going to spend a bunch of time talking about new technology for the iPhone 12, like the new LiDAR scanner and stuff like that. So there you guys go. Those are the final iPhone 12 leaks before we report back to you guys after Apple's event on Tuesday. So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and tap the like button below, click the circle above to subscribe, and check out that video right there, and also check out our merch like this hoodie right over there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.